Welcome, everyone, to episode 18 of the Total Relationship Podcast. I'm Kim Kokenauer, the COO at Forum Wealth Advisors, joined by my co host Tyson Ray, CEO of Forum Wealth Advisors. Today, we're talking about AI, but not the AI that is a buzz in the news right now. We're actually talking about AI advisor intelligence. As Tyson said before, advisor intelligence isn't technology, how to best guess the future, or a bunch of research or textbooks about investing. You'll learn something from each person that you meet. And through these experiences, you've been developing your own advisor intelligence. You've been figuring out what it truly means when it comes to help making life better for your clients. So in this episode, you'll hear how advisor intelligence will help you strengthen your client advisor relationships, change your role as an advisor, and impact the future of your firm. So let's get into it. So Tyson, you further define advisor intelligence as a collection of insight, wisdom, and understanding you've built up over time to help others towards their goals. But let's dig into the beginning of where you even came up with this.
Yeah. So, going back to, I started my career in my early 20s, and I'm sitting down meeting with people that are old enough to be my parents, much less my grandparents. And in some cases, I was like, I haven't walked in their shoes. I don't know what they're experiencing. And so the only way I could learn things about life and life experiences that goes into advising people about their money was just starting to ask them what were some of their financial successes, or what were some of their financial failures that when they look back on life, they wish they would have done differently, realizing that I could take that and then go apply it to people that were at those stages of life. And what I was gaining over time by asking hundreds and hundreds of people in my early years of my career was wisdom that I wouldn't have learned in a book, or didn't learn by taking a test, or didn't have for portfolio management, or all the things the industry wants to focus on. But it let me realize more and more what my job really was, which is to glean all of this experience that I actually didn't have, but the clients had, and then be able to apply that to clients that were at earlier stages of life than these people that were sharing these insights.
Well, and I think something that would actually help our listeners is actually giving a couple of examples of that. So sometimes it's easier to point out or remember mistakes that clients had made, or things that they wish they did. So if you've got a quick example that you could share, I think that'd be really helpful for people.
Yeah, well, one of them is in the total relationship, which was the client that I would go to see. It was like my Tuesdays with Maury, where she would sit and reflect. I wanted to talk about, or thought my job was to talk about, this, multi-million-dollar portfolio that she'd accumulated, and she's now in her late 80s, early 90s. And depending on her mood or what she was thinking about when I was meeting with her, she would reflect back, not talking about the portfolio, but just reflect back on her life. And it was either things she was thankful that she did, or things that she wished she would have done. And I started realizing that she could have done all these things she wished she would have done, but no one gave her permission to do them. And she referenced her multi-million-dollar portfolio at this stage of her life as black ink on white paper to her, because she was in assisted living at the time. And I can't do anything with it, is what she was basically saying. And what that helped me start realizing is that our job is not necessarily about just making more money. Our job is about trying to help these clients live a better life. And the ways that played out was in a meeting I just had yesterday. The client was sitting down and talking about this money that they had saved up, and they wanted to give it to me to invest. And it was about $400,000. Well, first he wanted to send $450,000, and I just reiterated, wait, what do we want to leave in the bank, right? They wanted to send you everything, and you don't want to take everything, because I've learned, take too much from the bank, their anxiety levels go up. So I said, I've always leave 50 in the bank, and we'll just do 400. And we talked about what we do with that. And then as we were leaving, I was like, anything else, any other issues we could address? He's like, well, he's about to be 70, and they have many kids, and then many, many, many grandkids. And he just kind of looked at me and just perplexed, and just said, I'm really thinking about just wanting to, what if we just added on to the house? Is that silly? Is that, and he was asking, is that wise from a financial standpoint? Is it, is it a good investment?
Mm-hmm.
And what advisor intelligence is realizing is sometimes the best thing a client can do with money they want to give you is to invest it in their lives or invest it in a tangible way they can enjoy, not invest it on black ink and white paper that 20 years from now they're going to look back and regret their decision. Because I said to him, I said, what would that cost? He said, it's about $250,000. I said, of this 400 you're going to give me, why don't we earmark $250,000, leave it in the money market, go get your bids and go make the kitchen bigger and go make the master bedroom on the main floor with the laundry attached and make it. I said, because you're going to enjoy that. And wouldn't that bless your family, all coming together around a bigger kitchen table and have memories? And I said, versus what? Putting it in a portfolio? I said, stop trying to make money on this and try and enjoy why you saved it in the first place. And that's what advisor intelligence, and that's the wisdom I've gained, is what I now call advisor intelligence, is to help clients realize sometimes the best investment to be made is something that they can tangibly touch, see, and enjoy, not necessarily putting more money in a portfolio because they already have plenty of money in a portfolio.
That's true. Well, and a lot of times, that decision that you made right there had nothing to do with you pulling that from data or technology. The best decision to make the client's life better was to actually put that money to work to help them build those memories. Because at the end of the day, when people are passing away, they're not thinking about how much money did they still have in their account. They're thinking about, did I spend the time with my friends and family the way that I wanted to? Do I have those memories? Will they have those memories of me when I pass? And so as an advisor, you get to strengthen that client advisor relationship by speaking into that and giving them the room to do that. Because I think the hard part sometimes is advisors think, great, I'm going to put $450,000 to work and that's how I'm going to make more money. And that's how I can bring on and grow a bigger team. But at the end of the day, if you're really keeping the client's best interest first, you're looking at that as an opportunity to help speak into their life and not think about how the money can come into the firm.
It's counterintuitive because the advisor thinks, if the advisor is focused on themselves, well, wait, I can make more money if they invest more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, yes, you can, but I would say that's short-sighted because what I have found is the more advisor intelligence I've realized is our opportunity to give people permission to spend money that they have on themselves, which is why they raise this money in the first place, if they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And realizing that by giving the client the permission to go and make this investment in their house, and more importantly, give the client the permission to say to them, hey, why don't we not worry about making money on this, but actually putting it into something that you actually now can enjoy, which has a different value. And what I have found is by giving clients that have the resources to enjoy that which they've saved, they're now going to be able to sow from what they've set aside. I've had more clients tell other people, or I've had referrals come from more clients because we're in the permission business of helping them enjoy this and not make decisions that they regret. And I'm also well aware of the fact that the mistake an advisor could make is, we're going to use artificial intelligence that says we're going to put it in this portfolio and it's going to grow and it's going to do this. But the next time the market corrects 20% with the amount of wealth this client specifically had, their portfolio could easily fluctuate down the amount of money that would have been this home improvement. And the second that happened, it would be very easy for the client to equate, wait a second, I just lost my addition. And that goes back to a client way back in the beginning when I didn't know any of this, that invested money. And we didn't know because we didn't know to ask what the money was for. And the money was for, it was a farmer, and the money was for when they needed a new combine, they were going to take this money out. Well, it was the late 90s, tech bubble, right? Happened. The $500,000 investment got cut in half like the whole market did over that 2-year period of time. And the combine broke. And he comes in and he wants to get a new combine. And all of a sudden, you didn't tell me that, right? And it's understanding what the money is for. And in the end, it's to exhaust all the things that clients want to do with it. And then the portfolio becomes the legacy. Because that was the conversation with him. What this money for? Is this money for legacy, or is anything you want to do with it? And he's like, no, there's nothing I want to do with it. Yeah, it's for the kids and grandkids. And okay. And then he just got up and kind of pondered. And really in the end, isn't making this investment in your house, as I was talking to the client, for the kids and the grandkids and the opportunity to enjoy. And for your wife that you passed away, she'll have she won't have to deal with stairs and have the convenience of having the master bedroom and the bathroom and the laundry room all on the same level. And by having those conversations and having this total relationship of trying to understand how to balance, yes, make investments, yes, legacy, yes, it beat inflation. But when the clients can accomplish all those things, then it's trying to encourage the client, what do you really want to do to enjoy your life? And how do we help you fund that?
So I think it's important that we kind of shift gears a little bit, because something on the mind of a lot of advisors is, how is their role going to shift in the future? And I think it's important to put the overlay of your definition of AI, advisor intelligence, through the lens of the total relationship. And how is that really going to change how most advisors practice now and into the future? Like, how do they need to reframe their thoughts?
Like many things in life, because I've been doing this for so long, I just wrongly assume everybody's doing this. I happened to skip through some of the reviews on the Total Relationship book, and one of them was the heading of the review said something to the effect of, "This is a glimpse into the future of financial advice." And I think it's because artificial intelligence, or just managing the portfolios, the world markets, if you will, there's if you're applying the diversification, the stewardship principles that history teaches, there's not a lot of value add unless you're going to go try and beat something, which is just trading more. What you're really trying to do is take more risk to create more return, to somehow think that's your value add. And that will have feast and famine results. That I think the future, especially in the information age, is to have the intelligence to distill down what is it the client really wants and needs, and balancing. The reality is that for all these people, they have more opportunities to do things. They have more options than sometimes they have resources. The lie is you can't do it all.
Mm.
But advisor intelligence is trying to help discern down what can you do and not regret it. And a lot of times it's talking about giving while you're living. It's talking about what kind of home improvements or upgrades do you want to do, and where those resources coming from, and helping the client think out of how they've lived their whole life before retirement, where it was cash flow from the paycheck and out of the bank balance.
Mm.
And ironically, I joked with a client because a few years earlier, when he sold his business, we talked about the remodel, and they hadn't saved up some of these extra resources, and the wife didn't want to do it. And the reason why is because the wife was looking at the cash flow and looking at the bank balance and being like, I don't want to
We
go.
can't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have this extra. And what I said was she may feel differently because we can point to that it's not coming from the cash flow, it's not coming from a bank balance, it's going to come from these other dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically just helping clients distill down what matters to them the most, what are they committed to, and then helping them figure out how to fund that, which is the reverse of the advisor intelligence. Years ago, I started realizing, gosh, our job isn't so much to make clients more money. Most clients that have come to us have made the money. Our opportunity to add all kinds of value is to help them realize what can they do with this, that would enhance the quality of their life, that would give them joy, that would give them the opportunity to love on their loved ones, that would give them experiences to help other people, and not run out at the same time, like continue to preserve the wealth that they had. This isn't about running the accounts to zero by any means. But I found that our business has grown just fine by helping clients take out from their portfolios and enjoy the life they have. And as they're enjoying that life, those conversations they have with their friends and family when they enjoy these different things often resonate or communicate back to us that we help them do that. And all of a sudden, the growth of our practice isn't because they invested all their money, each client. The growth of our practice is because other advisors aren't having this conversation with their clients, and those clients are showing up at our doorstep and we're talking about these things.
Mm-hmm. So this really has a bigger impact on the advisor who is focused strictly on digging into their performance, and they outbeat somebody else by, 5 basis points, like these small fractional increases, and they're not actually dedicating their time to getting to know their clients. And so I think that's a big reason why we created and pushed out to the total relationship community is the discovery deck. Is that if you've not really dug into those questions or even know how to start that, if you head over to totalrelationship.com, please grab our discovery deck and help equip yourself to start having those conversations. Because at the end of the day, beating certain indexes and making just a fraction of a percentage difference in your client's portfolio, yeah, then you will be replaced by the technical artificial intelligence because you will lose out to the advisor who is actually bringing the relationship to the financial conversation and not skipping out.
Yeah, because the one thing that artificial intelligence, I mean, the industry is going to get more and more commoditized when it comes to the portfolio management. And where artificial intelligence is not going to be able to compete with advisor intelligence and with this total relationship that we're trying to communicate is I have yet to have any AI I've ever played with tell me that I asked the wrong question. It doesn't challenge the premise of the question. The client had the meeting to talk about investing the $400,000. And if that got plugged into the technical way of doing things, okay, we start talking about the portfolio because you accept the premise of the question. Advisor intelligence is realizing, okay, we need to address the question the client's bringing us, but then also circle back and challenge the premise of the question of, is this even where we should be starting? Or what about the house? Or what about, the charity you wanted to support? Or what about helping your kids? And maybe that's a better placement of those assets. That's what advisor intelligence brings to the table before AI could even pick up on what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, and to the advisor who's not tracking any of this information, you're not going to be able to build up your advisor intelligence if you don't have a resource to go back and look at your CRM notes and see what you have experienced with your clients in the past. It's really critical to get this stuff out of your head and into a system that will allow you to track, remember, and grow so that you can help your future clients learn from past clients' mistakes and build up your own arsenal of advisor intelligence.
Yep. Another example that I'm thinking of with advisor intelligence, was the issue of when clients turn on Social Security. Do they wait to 70? Do they take it early? And sometimes, our practice is to try and get them to the full benefit of, at the very least, their full retirement age, and in some cases to 70. But when we cross the full retirement age, sometimes the conversation becomes, instead of waiting and letting that grow and taking it from the portfolio, would you feel better having what you think is more of a certain payment coming in every month from the Social Security, or doing the math to say, well, if you wait, you got to go to age 80 or whatever that the break points are. Again, AI can calculate all of that. But where AI breaks down is I don't think AI is going to ask the relational question of how does that feel? And yeah, okay, financially, it may be better for you to wait, but emotionally, would it be better for you to start taking it because it gives you the certainty and the consistency that you would rather have than the fluctuation of the portfolio that's making up the difference while we're waiting for it to get to the full retirement age or waiting until it gets to 70.
Absolutely. Well, and I have a feeling this will be a topic we will revisit multiple times. So, if you take anything away from today's episode, let it be this: you learn something from each person you meet. Every client you sit down and talk to, you learn through their experiences, and you are developing your advisor intelligence. So, think of it this way: you have a tool, something you can use to help your clients. So, please go ahead, use it. Learn from other people's experiences and share that with your clients to help them live a better life. So, Tyson, help me wrap up the episode. What other words of wisdom do you want to leave with the listeners today?
I just think that, again, it can be that simple. And the information age and artificial intelligence, it seems like everything's getting more perplexed and more complicated, which I think the clients are coming to us to simplify it down to a relationship, and looking out for their best interest isn't necessarily a portfolio and facts and figures. It's addressing the feelings. And if you went and interviewed every one of your clients and asked them the questions about mistakes they made, they want to avoid in the future, and some of the successes that they have, you can start building the type of wisdom and intelligence that a computer's going to have a hard time beating.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for tuning into episode 18 of the Total Relationship Podcast. If you haven't already, click follow or subscribe to be the first to know when new episodes are available. New episodes come out every other Tuesday. Check out the episode description for links to free resources and links to connect with Tyson and me on LinkedIn. And follow the Total Relationship page on LinkedIn if you're looking for a like minded community of advisors. Until next time.